Hey guys, it's Lily here, and today is Saturday, the 20th of January, and Rosebud here is giving me company. I'm quite dirty. It is actually 4:50 in the morning here. Obviously, you guys know I don't normally do a vlog this early. I've never done a vlog this early. Obviously, I'm going to start vlogging more things for you guys. So, the process of the moment, I'm covered in dirt. It's 4:50, like I just said. Well, it's like 4:51 now. I haven't been to sleep all night, so let me just tell you something. The life of an autism person. If our minds are active, with things in our head that we need to do. So in my mind, I really want to sort my plants out. So that's why my nails. Well, I didn't really have nails because they really irritate me. I tried growing them, but it didn't work. If you watch previous vlogs, so if there's something on my mind that I really have to do, I can't sleep till I've done it. So I've ended up staying up all night. So it's nearly 5 a.m. There's someone coming to pick something up at 9:30, I think it is. I've got the piece of paper somewhere. So what I wanted to discuss with you guys as well, why I'm doing this bit of the morning vlog, here for you guys. So baby here is just lying next to me. So let me just put this on my laptop. So the moment I'm just checking out Facebook.
And since your husband has half your heart, I get that too.
So first off, I've got a message from your mom. I'm gonna have to move you guys this way. So I'm checking my Facebook here. My mum's obviously, if you guys have been watching my vlog, you'll know my mum's in Birmingham for 2 weeks. So my brother's around the corner if I need him. So I've had a message from my mum saying, "Will you put Matt's heater in the hallway?" Now Matt is my landlord. I don't know why there's something in my eye. Matt is my landlord. So Matt is my landlord. He wants the heater in the hallway because he probably wants to do something with it. Or try and return it because I haven't used it. I've got my own electrical heater. Because the one he wanted me to use was gas one, and if anything falls on it, then it can set things alight. So let me just turn this guys down a bit. Oh, it is turned down. Alright. So the first reason why I don't have one of these heaters is autism people have a younger mind in themselves. So yeah, we have a younger mind. So for my mental age of a 24-year-old, I'm actually younger minded. I might seem older on my vlogs, but today, as you watch my vlogs, you'll realise that I don't actually seem that old, kind of. So, like, basically we were in a tent the once camping, and there was one of these heaters, and I was being really childish because I was younger at this age, and obviously my age is so many more years down, and we was playing in a tent, and the whole pillow fell onto, because when you go camping, my mom, she takes blow beds, she takes pillows, she takes quilts, she takes everything. It's like taking your whole house with you, or flat with you, camping. We don't actually go camping anymore. We find statics and things like that because we find them much comfier. But it's quite fun as a family, especially taking young uns camping. Hi, baby. You want to say hi? So, Rosebud's here. Say hi, baby. What's going on? My laptop's coming very handy to hold my thing until I actually get a vlog stick. So yeah, and obviously it's set at a light, but lucky enough I still had the sort of brain against fire because I've been taught that. So I knew to get the pillow. Lucky enough I had the mind to get the pillow and pull it outside the tent, so we didn't set the tent on fire. So that was a good thing. So that's the sort of here he wanted me to have. Now obviously getting Rosebud, if she goes and lies, because she likes, for her dog, she's got Chihuahua Pattendale in her. You would know that if you've watched my previous vlogs. Because she's got Chihuahua in her, Chihuahuas get cold a lot. So what happened is, if she gets really cold, so she'll go and lie with her bed. Other bed is next to the heater. So if she's really cold, she'll go and lie there. So she will actually lie next to the heater. So I'll just show you that here. So this heater here, and that's her bed. It also has a bean thing in there that you warm up in the bottom. So if she would have got cold and lay next to that heater, she would have like set herself, like burnt herself. So it's so unsafe for her. Hey baby. So I don't ever agree with having that around her. I wouldn't ever want anything to happen to her or endanger her. So I never put it up. I never took it out of the box. So yeah. So yeah, where was I? You also like to say and discuss the fact every time I walk in a shop, well, most shops, a lot of people when I go in shops now, they don't ask questions because that used to me. But any new shops here in England, they're like, is she a service dog? Now, when I was first finding out and doing her training, because I was self-trainer myself, there was nothing out there that to register, and it actually says on the AD website here in the UK that there is no registry unless you get them off the company, like Good Dogs and things like that. So, but I actually found out in the end, autism is supposed to have assistant dogs. Now, in America, you may hear service dogs. If you bring them over here, you will be allowed, as obviously if you've got the proof over here. Because over here, we're supposed to have proof of it. But actually over here in the UK, I actually found out there's no such thing as a service dog. So from now on, when I go into shops, I'll be educating people and letting them know that there is no such thing. So when they go, have you got a service dog? I'll be going here in the UK under the AD laws. So that's the top laws for disability dogs. And they're fighting with the government to actually have registered places at the moment, but there's still nothing available for assistant dogs. So there's no such thing as a service dog. It's just assistant dogs over here. So under the AD law, all assistant dogs here, you can actually home train them yourselves. So if you don't believe me, you can look this up on the AD website. It's like AD or something like that. So all assistant dogs you are actually allowed to train yourself, which actually, if I get the piece of paper here, because I actually printed some piece of paper off here. So this is off the AD website, so there's actually a badge here. So on the AD website, so assistant dogs in the UK. So this is when travelling, mostly when travelling, this bit is that I got off there. But it says here, assistant dogs provide disability people with support and confidence to live independent life and allow unlimited access to all service. So And so then it also says underneath, so um, here, some assistant dogs are trained by their own owners, and some are trained by assistant dog charities such as Good Dogs, Guide Dogs, sorry. So that's there at the top. Under the British law, passengers with assistant dogs have the same rights to private hire service as everyone else. This applies to visits from other countries too. So, but then it tells you obviously the list of things that you have to do to make sure it. So there are a number of different types of dogs recognised in the UK, and they are different charities. In addition, people who have self-trained those dogs means they have their own training to meet their own particular physical, mental, and other needs. You should accept these dogs as well. Passengers from other countries that have assistant dogs also you must accept these for travel. So you guys, as far as I know from reading the laws in the UK, if you have service dogs like in America, everyone goes on about service dogs, you would actually have to have an assistant dog, so you probably have to change. I'm not guaranteeing that. I'm not going to go against anyone that's got a service dog and know the truth of that. So if I was you guys before you come over the UK, if you're from America, I'd look that up. So when obviously the main things when travelling with an assistant dogs, you must make sure your dog is trained to lie quietly by your own feet. The law says that there is no religion grounds in which allows drivers to refuse or overcharge passengers assistant dogs. So if you go in a taxi and you have an assistant dog, or you go on a bus or something when you're travelling and you have an assistant dog, they are not physically by law allowed to charge you. All assistant dogs are specialised chosen to calm and caring nature. The owner of the assistant dog will know how to guide the dog in and out of the vehicle, which is I know to do that with my dog. So something you may and may not know, but Rosebud here is not 2 yet, and it takes her fully 2 years to train her, but she's still got a few things she needs to perk on before she can pass a public test. So at the moment it's main things like when she wants to play with a dog, she'll bark at a dog, or she sees a bike, she wants to chase it and play. So there's sort of things I've got to knock out of her before she can be proper public access. So at the moment she's an in training assistant dog, so certain places like Tesco's and things like that are actually allowed to stop her, but they've been very kind and they've let her in. So that will probably be the main place I will do the public access test to do it, send it off. Well, as I said, there's nothing legit out there. Well, I was looking into what full training you definitely need for an assistant dog to get it all sorted. I've wrote notes of that down. So I actually found in the process a website called let me just double check what this was. It was called Sherlock Holmes Assistance Dog. So if anyone in the UK is now people that haven't got a disability, it really annoys me if you are going out and you're trying to unprofessionally get an assistant dog, because you actually have to prove that you have a disability with these greyhound people, to actually qualify. So you have to show them your PIP and whatever to prove. So people actually try faking it. It's very unfair for people like me that she helps me a lot getting out and things. So if you're faking that, I appreciate that you stop. You may like your dog there as a companion, when you're out 24/7 and about, but it's really unfair against people that actually really need them. So this Greyhound company allow you to buy. Now you have to prove to them you have a disability from a doctor's note or a fully registered, like I have my PIP, so I've sent them that, a picture of your dog and things like that and what she's for. So I've sent them all that information. I'm waiting for an email back this morning to see if they get back to me this morning, hopefully. And I'll be buying a full coat for her. They also do an ID thing so people can let you in. And the coat will actually say in training on this one. Then she'll have a full assistant dogs where when she's fully assistant, I'll be able to take her abroad with me, which is I want to do in the future. So, and you also have an ID card as well. So the ID cards are £5 and the other bit is £3.75, I think it was, and the coats are £21. But obviously you have to prove that you have that disability, which is I have autism, so that's what she helps with. She actually has on her collar ID tag here, which I can't show you much because it's got my number. Yes, it's autism assistant dog, which is what she helps me with. So I'm going to go through a few things here. I've got some scruffy notes here that I wrote down. So now Rosebud knows how to sit, she knows how to stay, she does all that. She knows how to lie down, she knows how to stay in the flat when I move away from her. But when I'm out the flat, a distraction of another dog or a bike, if she was off her lead, depending what mood she's in, which if I've got a complete call out, some days she will just stay and she won't move. But other days, like yesterday, she was in a very hyper mood at that point. So she wanted to play with all the dogs, but she was out of her lead, and that is her normal routine when she's off her lead. So these are a few things. I think this was when she is right, so this is when she's in a store place here. So I think this is the start of it, or is it?
Well, then what's wrong with your neck?
Yeah, right, this is it, right. So this is when she goes into a store. These are the main things in a store, right? Your dog should not want to exit a vehicle. So when you go into all places, she should be trained to stay in the vehicle. That's another thing, one of the other main things. She has a stress issue at the moment about being in the back of a car, strapped in, not being on my lap. So when she's on my lap, she's the perfect golden dog you could know, but she don't like being in the back, which is you have to try and do that, or at least she has to be able to lie in the footwell. But when she gets to a place where she knows like she's going to Westwood Day, she starts crying because she wants to get out of the car and go for that walk. So that's another thing I've got to put out of her. So you must be able to basically get them to stay in the vehicle and not move until commanded. Now under the one, you have to walk alongside you. They won't have to pull on the lead, and they won't stop to sniff an object or greet other people. So Rosebud will go to the toilet when told. So when I tell her go for a wee wee out in the back garden, go for a wee wee, she'll look at me now because she knows that command, which is she probably is about like dying for a wee, because it's obviously coming up from morning time. It's 5:09 a.m. right now. So things like putting on the leash, she's getting there with that. She just needs a bit more training. Sniffing objects, she don't normally do that when we're walking. So like when we're walking out, she don't sniff object. She only does that when she's running about, playing and things like that. Greeting other people, she only gets distracted with that is when people, so when we're in shops, she'll only get distracted with that when people actually come up to her. Other than that, she's normally fine. So, and when we're out, obviously walking and things like that, and she's playing with other dogs, because she has to still have that interaction. She then obviously I'm just gonna turn this around so you guys can't see my number. Um, so then she can do it, and she's allowed to do it then. Through the store, the dog should have a loose leash in a heel position and should not have to correct her, and she should not brush against merchandise. So when you're walking past stuff, obviously if you're in a tight situation, you can't avoid it. You're trying to avoid that situation. They should not be. They should. Hang on, my heart. I find the heart it's a bit hard to read after a while. Right. They should not feel scared, appeared frightened, or by shopping trolleys, babies, strollers, and small children. She's never scared of small children. She's always liked small children. She don't like it when kids cry, when I cry. So when I cry or I'm stressing, she senses that. She could also do panic. So if someone had a panic attack, she'd know, and she's very good at that. She licks you to calm you down. This is her stress relief right here. She's loving this right now. So, and also when I feel stressed, I'm just doing this because it's goodness what time in the morning, and she's obviously this time in the morning, unless I felt stressed right now, then obviously I'd need her, but I'm fine right now, and it's goodness what time in the morning. She's normally asleep, so, but she's up because I'm up. She don't sleep unless I sleep, so she's sort of closing her eyes if I do this. So you can't quite see, but she's closing her eyes a little. So, shopping trolleys, we've been through Tesco's and things like that, and she has a pushchair at the moment while she's in her training, until she has full public access, when she has that, she'll be walking. Some people like me, I allow to pick her up at the moment as well. So when I don't have a pushchair, I carry her in my jacket at the moment, as you guys was seen. Because at the moment while she's practicing and training and things like that, then I like her close to me and things. So as you guys see, she's just like nodding off slowly. So, and when we've been in there and she's been in a pushchair on my jacket, the worst bit will be when people come up and they're like, "Oh, let me stroke her," and I'm like, "No, she's an assistant dog. She's there for me. Can you please not touch her?" And people will get quite moody sometimes at you, and I'm like, no. So, but shopping trolleys, she's never been spooked out by. Strollers, now obviously they're called pushchairs here in the UK. So here in the UK they're called pushchairs, and little eyes. So when she sees a pushchair at the moment, so if she's in like a shopping place, she never barks at a pushchair. But if we're walking out and about, she barks thinking it's her pushchair. I need to get in my pushchair. So obviously when she's fully trained and access trained, she won't have that pushchair anyway, so that won't affect her life. So should not attempt to greet other people. Now, like I said, unless she's out and about in the park and she's playing, she likes to run up, sniff other people and know who they are. There's a lot of few regular people down the park by us, so she's used to them. And when we go to Westwood Ho, she's used to a few people. There's a few new people we see now and again. So other than that, when we're in places, see that dog just barks, that got her attention. So that's the sort of thing with dogs I need to snap out of her. Look at me. Look at me. Good girl. So she does know the command, look at me, and pay attention to me. So she will do that if I want her to do that. But when her dogs face straight in front of her, she has this hyperactive mode to go and play with them. So hopefully we will train that out of her soon. So with greeting people, like I said, other than when she's out and she's enjoying herself, when and not working. She interacts with people then, but when she's working, she don't, unless someone comes up in her face and starts bothering her. Should not stop when should stop when I stop, and not wander off. Now, if I ever stop and she's on a lead, she gets too paranoid. Like when I'm on a walk and she's had that bit of run burst, she panics thinking, what am I doing? She always stops, so that's not a problem for me. The handle is to push a cart. So this is basically all the things you have to do to pass the test, basically. Public access. Push a shopping trolley cart while the dog keeps alongside me and should not sniff at any food or people. So with Rosebud, I can say bed to her and she will also look at me. So, and that to her, she's got used to that command that much. It means do not touch food, do not look at food, do not look at people when they're eating, because I have this thing about people watching me eat, so she don't either unless I tell her. She's never ever begged for food, because the moment she does, it gets snapped out of her like that, and you say bed to her. She knows that if I want her to move, I say bed. So that command is a few things to her. So, and obviously the lead bit is, I've got to sort that bit out. Down and stay where people are going by.
Well, maybe you can be repaired.
Right, so when you're in a supermarket, she must be able to stay, while people are going around her. She thinks I want to pull and she don't. Why people are going round her and things, and someone, if someone was to step over her, she wouldn't rely on me. Look at me. Look at me. Good girl. And so she'd have the alternate attention to pay attention to me all the time, instead of paying attention to the person stepping over her, person stepping around her, if carts are going round and things like that. If you ever give a child if a child ever did ask you to pet, which is most here in the UK, most people don't know about assistant dogs, and a lot of dogs can be quite fearful kids, or they can temper, and they have these bright jackets, but a lot of people don't seem to pay attention, and their kids run up, and it doesn't help when dogs get very and they stop them from working. But if this was ever to happen, you have to train your dog to basically pay attention to you. But in certain extent, sometimes, obviously they're still an animal. They're still an animal out there. So now and again, they're still life. So if a dog comes up to them and starts distracting them, or a child comes up and starts fussing them, or even an adult, they could distract them from their work and what they're actually supposed to be there for. So they're an animal, it's life. So there's still that point that they could get distracted. It could happen, but you're supposed to correct them as soon as. So with Rosebud and that sort of thing, like, I can have her stay there and she can just sit and things, and that. But then when a person's finished stroking her, she can get quite hyper about it and excited, so she needs to stop that. So can I do both sides of this? Yeah, I did. So you must be able to put a leash down, walk away from them, without them stressing. You must then turn to face them for at least 10 seconds. Before then, you should command them to come. Now, if I call Rosebud and we were in a supermarket, she'd come straight to me, Rosebud, because she knows that I'm there. So the other one is, you should be able to, now this one is going to take a bit of work with her, because obviously, like I said, she stresses if she can't even see me in sight, and she'll want to just follow me, being if she can't see me. So if I turn a corner, she'd want to come straight after me, because she'd panic that she can't see me in eye zone. So with Rosebud, this is going to be a tough one. You should be able to leave them in a sit, like, so the rules are you can have them sitting, you can have them lying down, you can have them in a stand mode, so they can just be standing there. So you must be able to keep in one of them commands, go around the corner, with them staying in that same position, or if they decide to sit down, they decide to sit down. Sometimes they get lucky and she'll lie down if she's having an alright day, but it's got to be perfect. So she will be able to stay there, you'll be able to walk around the corner and come back round and she'll still be there. And another thing in that approach, you're supposed to train them to pick up the lead and pass you that lead. Now with my lead at the moment, I have a full pull one. I'll be looking at getting the smaller looking ones. So that's that one. Let's see. Right. Right, here you go. Right, another one you must do is they must be able to stay, obviously, whatever them 3 commands, and do it just under a minute, or at least a minute long. Face the dog, do what you need to do at the same time, but then go back up to them or recall them to you, to pass that bit. Entering a building, you must have a loose lead without pulling and them not going in front of you. Now I can get her to wait perfectly before I go out of the door and things like that. It's just that pull leading. Go in the bathroom with you and not stressing about waiting in a cubicle. When I take her for walks, right, I can take her in the toilets. When I go and stay with my mum's, they got them toilets outside. She does not stress. She's like, whatever, as long as she's next to me. When I'm washing my hands and the blow dryer goes, she's never been bothered about that. You just have to get them to stay though, and she has stayed while I've been in the bathroom before. Elevator went in a controlled fashion, so she's not supposed to be scared or anything like that. So I've took her when we've been to bingo, which is, if you've watched my other vlogs, you actually see that she's been in bingo in a pushchair before. But obviously when she's fully trained, you've got a little white hair going on here. When she's fully trained, she won't be in a pushchair. She will lie next to under the table at bingo. So when you're in an elevator, she shouldn't be scared of it. Well, she's been in a pushchair, so she's never going to be scared. She's like, whatever. Escalators, she'd never tried escalators yet. So with escalators, you must leave 6 steps between you and the person in front of you. You can also ask people behind you to give you space when going up that escalator. You should also make sure it's not an escalator that's gonna harm your dog's paws or endanger them. They must stay controlled, and they can also step off the escalator in front of you as long as you have that dog under control at all times. We're nearly finished, guys. So restaurants, you are take them with you, but they must. When you sit down, they should. So when you go in and you're going to seat or you wait in, dogs should not try going for food or crumbs. She will not do that, because I can command her and say bed. She knows to leave an item, and I say to her, she knows to leave an item as well. So then they should then be placed in a down or stay under the table, if possible, in a remote Yeah, so if possible under the table. If you can't, obviously you're gonna have to have them next to you. In a remote, so basically they should not bark in, they should be silent, they should not be begging and things like that, they should not be peeking for that food, they should not sniffing. So part of one of the tests while you're there to pass, you have to drop the item of food. Now with her, if I actually dropped an item of food and said at to her, she'd leave, but she's got to learn that she cannot just go up to that food, she has to just leave at all and just lie there where she is. So like this now, but obviously she'd be on the floor. And they will not touch that food at all. Then you'd pick the item up after so long and obviously take it off the floor. Then getting into the car, they must be in a control situation where they stay where they are, even if it's a stand position. Obviously her, she's quite small, so I have to pick her up to put her in a car. So the main things as well that you must be able to learn your dog is they must be able to stay, they must be able to lie down, they must be able to sit. She can do all three of them. She can come to me, walk next to me in a controlled manner. That's what she can walk, but she pulls on her lead sometimes, so obviously got to cut that out of her. Not greet people, so that's the other thing. Now she don't greet people when she's on her lead. She don't tend to bother. Sometimes it depends what mood she's in. Obviously I'll completely cut that out of her stew. And still look. Right, and another thing you have to train them to do is, so I put this in brackets. So if you can get a friend or someone, or even having it in your home at first, or walking past, so your friend, like a person they really know and really want to see and play, you've got to teach them. They're only allowed to play with that person when they're not working, when you command them to, so when going to the toilet and things like that. She, obviously, like I told you, goes when I tell her. The only other problem I have is I have artificial grass in my backyard, which obviously she's that used to that, but she don't normally go unless I tell her to at the moment. So like there's artificial grass across from the arcade. She's never actually gone on that yet. Well, she used to when she was a puppy, but she don't anymore. But that's why I have to be careful, because the artificial grass, if you go into camping places and things like that, places that go outdoors and that, they have that artificial grass where the tents are, and I have to be careful obviously that she don't do something. Touch wood, when I've took her into it again before, she's not done anything, so hopefully that never happens. So with the friend thing, so when you have a friend, you've got to teach them that they basically have got to lie and pay attention to you, why that person's walked past. So here's the thing I got off it. If they don't do that and pay attention, the moment they stop looking at you, you have to get that person to stop and wait, and when they're back on you, you reward them, and then you tell a person to keep going, and if they do it again, you have to get them to stop, and it's a long process, but it's all part of their training. And that's with bikes, children, cats, animals, food, and cars. So, but yeah, that is everything on there. So yeah, so hopefully sooner or later we'll have everything fully up. When I get the email through, I'll let you guys know how that's gone. I forgot to also mention I got both of my refunds back from Wish over the two items that didn't actually match up to the description. So yeah, I'm gonna click on my email, but I don't think I'll have anything back yet because of how early it is. I'd have to look on my phone to see about that, but that's pretty much, it's gonna be a pretty long vlog today, guys. but it's based about something about assistance dogs and how there's no such thing as a service dog in the UK. So that's all we got time for this morning. I'm just going to show you guys the plants that I've been doing this morning. It's like I'm doing it on the carpet and there's like dirt everywhere. I'm going to show you guys. Up. Obviously she's really tired at the moment, so this is her state. But up. This is her tired mood, and she's got to cut it out. Up. Now, the moment I say bed, come on, bed, she knows that bed command is automatic moveness, and as you can see, she is moved next to me, but it's better than when she was on me. So I'm going to show you guys the plants that I've done so far. They can get on my bed. So it's going to be quite messy, guys. So as you can see, guys, the whole floor is basically covered in dirt. So this is where I've been sitting. This is where the plants are all getting stacked up and done here. And other ones I'm in the process of doing, sorting, and everything at the moment. So that's all we got time for right now, guys. I'm about to have my breakfast. I'll peace out. Rose will see you later. Where are you, baby? Come here. Here. Rosebud. Here. Come here. Now. There you go. So here she is. Obviously in her home it's a lot different. She does actually come here and then outside. Here. Rosebud. Here, baby. Sit. There we go. Say bye. See you later. See you in a bit. Guys, it's Lily here. I'm a bit red right now because I've literally just, there's a bit of mess in here still. I gotta get that up once it dries. But as you can see, it's better than it was. It's been vacuumed. I'm just going through salad stuff at the moment. I'm waiting for someone to collect this item down here. As you can see, Rosebud is here. And I've just vacuumed the floor in here and on the sides. So now I'm gonna sit down, take a bit of a break. It's a bit hot. I vacuumed out here as well. I've got to do her some fresh food and water soon. So yeah, that's my daily life. Today's vlog is gonna be basically about today and what you need to have an assistant dog and how an assistant dog helps me and how service dogs, there's no such thing as a service dog. If I get any post as well, that will be going in. I'm still watching Once Upon a Time in the background, like all the time. It just plays 24/7 on my Xbox One. I actually have a Gears limited edition on Xbox One. We're really here waiting for a command. Up. As you seen, she went up. She's still learning the art of staying up at the moment. Up. Stay. Up. Stay. Up. Stay. Up. You see the barking in her? She's got to stop doing that. That's one of the other things I have to hack out of her, but up. She's still getting used to this. This is basically if I ever had an worry in a shop and when I was walking along, if I train her to come up at me, then that way then I can pick her straight up. If I'm stressing too much to bend down and get her, or I'm having a bad day. So Rosebud, up. So she's come up here and I'm gonna say stay. Good girl. So sometimes you reward her with a good attitude of your hand, a toy, or a treat. So most times it's a treat at the moment, especially if I have to go back to basics to learn something to her, then it will be back to treat rewards. As you can see at the moment, she's just giving some love. So anytime from now till 10:30, a guy could turn up to buy. Now, as you can tell, she's very treat oriented. So any command that has a treat after it, she knows what's in this bag, so she always follows this bag. So this is another way I can train her. As you can see, she'll lie straight down and be quiet for this, so I'm going to reward her for being very quiet. So she can see she follows the bag. So if I can get her, look at me and sit and sit. Good girl. So as you can see, she's very treat oriented, but what you do if a dog is very treat oriented, you can either start swapping that with a toy that they love. Sometimes she can be iffy a toy, so I like to reward her with praise as well. So as you know, she's that used to this command now, she just passes me her paw without even asking. So she doesn't need a treat for this because she's that used to it. So if I show you that again, it's that used to it. Even though she knows the treat's there, that's why she'll keep doing it every time my hand comes out at the moment. So we put the treats over here, see how she follows them. So if we get her to look at the bag, look at the bag, look at the bag, where's the bag? Look at the bag, look at me. Sit, sit. We need her to do a command that I command. So if I tell her to sit, she needs to go into that sitting position. Sit. That's a lie. You need to sit. Now this is what she does with her barking. If she can't get something she wants, she will bark. So as you can see, I forced her down then to sit in motion by putting it up here, and she sit. So stay. High five. No. See, as you oh, I just dropped that. So as I said, at no, as you look, she drops. At no. Watch again. Up. At no. As you can see, she stops for that at no. So we'll command her for that. So I'll show you a few things she already knows. So at the moment, well, these are not all the things you actually need, like high five. You don't actually need to learn that as a service dog. I just added something in extra to keep her mind occupied, because the more you can mind occupy them is better to keep their brain active. But also you got to remember, you can only train a dog for a certain longer periods of time through a day, otherwise their mind starts getting bored and then they stop training to it. So as you can see again, she already knows the treats there, so she will already know to do this at no, and she knows to wait for that treat. Good girl. So as you can see, she already knows at no command to leave, so that'll be good when I'm taking her into restaurants to learn her not to touch the food. Now if we can teach her another thing, we put it down here, at no, stay, wait. So we just take that treat away. Now, as you know, she's orientated to the treat, which is that needs to snap out and she needs to pay no attention to it. But that will come in time. At no. And you see, she knows to wait. So this one we're going to pretend we've got a treat, but we're going to praise reward her. So we're going to pretend we've got a treat. So up. As you know, this is another one you don't have to teach them. At no. She just sits there. At no. Good girl. So this time I praise rewarded her instead. We're giving her some love here. To take that treat away. So I'm going to show you, like I said, the few commands she actually knows. So we're going to pull out a treat for this. So Rosebud, over here. 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 So here, she at the moment she just guesses lie down to here. So Rosebud, sit over here. Good girl. High five. Down. Pause. Good girl. Down. At no. Kiss. Sit. Up. Stay. Good girl. So as you can see, she knows a few commands. Now the whole kiss command that I'm learning at the moment, where I go, but she just does naturally kiss anyway. At kiss. As you can see, at sit. Right? As you can see, she naturally pays attention to that anyway. If I ever had a problem with something or I was not coping, then I would automatically go, kiss. Now, obviously, in other situations, I'll be panicking and go, at kiss, shh, and wait. So, I can cuddle her then, at wait. So, she would basically stop to this at no and wait. So, and then I say, at go. So then she knows she can lie here calmly. So most things she follows my hand to now as well. She's that used to that. So as you can see, she does a lot of this. She knows how to go up in a situation as well. So there. So that's all we got time for now, guys. You know most of her few training bits she's got here. I'm just gonna move on to Salon stuff now, guys, and I will speak to you guys in a bit. Peace. Hey guys, it's me again. Rose was just like hanging out down here under the cook. She's cold. So I've just received this in the post. We're gonna open out in a sec. I've really got to tell you about this guy that was coming to get a car and truck set off me that I was selling. So the lady has actually written down here, I can't show you because I've got my address, my address, my phone number to text me only, my full address. So most people that have my full address end up on the same road at least and struggle to find where it is up the road at least. This guy could not even find my road. He's in a van. I swear to God, he was making me stress. Like, he's like on the phone basically going, I ain't got time for this, huffing and puffing, oh my God, and all this like. And I'm thinking, you're stressing me out, mate. And he's like, oh, can you not come and drive round or meet me in such a place? I was like, no, I don't leave my dog, for one, and I really don't go out without a carer, which at the moment I don't. Obviously, I learned to start doing that. So, and on here it actually says my number, my full address and everything, like, properly down. And, so, and he turns up right, and he's a scooting alarmed guy, and he looks like one of them that I don't even know. I'm not perfect or anything. I don't look like the best looking person, but he looks like he smokes weed. Seriously, or has coke or something. He looks like them type of guys. No offense against guys that smoke weed, like I've got nothing against people smoking weed, but he looks like, some people don't understand, but some people won't. Like, it's really hard to explain. Like, he looks like a guy that takes drugs, like, really bad. He has an attitude on him, and I didn't like that at all. And I'm thinking, if you speak to your customers like that, I'm surprised you even get paid. Like, and if you speak to your people that lodge the same place as you, that is terrible, especially when she's got an autistic kid, and thinking that he's getting that for a lady with an autistic kid, and that's the way he speaks to people on the phone. I feel sorry for that autistic kid, because I'm autistic, and I feel very sorry for him. I'm sorry for that rant over, yeah. Just like stressed me out, and I had to tell you guys. So anyway, in here I have a pretty good idea what's in here right now, guys. Rosebud is like sleeping under here. She always likes to see what I get in the post, so let's go a little bit here. As you can see, she's just watching. This is why I said I really need to start getting so much for her again in the post. So yeah, what I thought it was. So basically my Esper salts or something. I put it on the picture for you so you can see. Right here, because I can't actually read that. So let's get it out here. So here it is. Do you know what I hate about the fact that this is my Esper salts, right? Is one, it doesn't even have a name on a packet, so you can't tell unless you keep the thing with it. So store in a sealed and cool dry place. Right, do you know what the worst thing is? Sealed and cool dry. How am I supposed to seal that? I only want to use a bit at the time. So now I have this, so at least this is sealable, like after you've used some. I suppose I could mix it all together and then like put it into one bag. So we have the citric acid, we have the, I can't even read that, whatever salts, so it's gonna get rid of that bit over there, and we have the cornstarch over here. So if I get the things, so this is my checklist for my bath bombs. So we've got baking soda, I've already got that in the cupboard, also known as baking bicoda soda, whatever you want to call that. And then obviously you've got my cornstarch here, we've got the whatever salts you want to call them, we've got citric acids, essential oils, I already have them like lemon and things, and they ain't hard to get hold of. Then I have food colouring, it's in my cupboard. I got blue and pink because I can do boy ones and girl ones. Let me just continue this. Let them watch it. I've got olive oil, I bought that the other day, and a mould. I'm going to mould them into like little shapes. I've got cutters, so I could cut them into the cutters, because I'm going to zoom in these little boxes, which once I finish, guys, I will show you. When I'm making it, I will show you guys, probably do a video on how to make them. So if you guys ever want to make them, you can make them yourselves. So now I have a film. I'm gonna do that at some point, probably later. I saw it ourselves. And at the moment, guys, I've actually ran out of. So I bought. If you guys watch my vlogs, which says you haven't, you really should go back and watch them, especially my openings. At the moment, I'm trying to claim my money back on one. The football sticky things, because it actually states with eBay, if a description, if an item does not turn up as descripted to an item or shown in the picture, you can actually claim your money back. Now, as you've seen on my vlog, if you've seen my open for my sticky footballs ones, if you didn't go and watch it, I was actually falling asleep at the end of it. You will actually see that when I opened the box, there was ones open. Well, this guy's like, they were put in for free to try and get away with it, and because they were extras and they were free. And I'm like, no, because they was, put it this way, there was more than 3 that were in the box that were open already, for a start, and I counted them, and I'm sure there's definitely 100. So even so, but there was like 3 or 4 that wasn't in the packets, so that states that they wasn't put in there for free, because there's definitely ones in there that were open without a packet, like I've said to him. So I've written back to him basically saying, no, there's 100. I counted them myself to make sure that to make sure they wasn't extras, and I can't send them on you back because I've already opened some when I've actually opened them more. But so by rights and eBay's rights, they go by the customer's rights, but they always also back up the buyer. But because it's not as descriptive, because I've had ones that are open, I should get my money back, but I've just got to keep fighting it until the day that eBay can step in. But also if it found out that both parties are right and everything, then eBay can issue a refund to both parties. I don't know how they make money if they do that. But also, he's saying, are you going to return them unopened, unopened, the box unopened or something, and unopened? Well, no, because to find out that there was some open and no packaging, obviously had to open the box, didn't I now? And when a customer, so this is when I've had people buy stuff off me and they want to return it. As a buyer, like a seller, sorry, I have to pay for the postage for people to return that item, but I can refuse, like I did with my Picky Mix. With my Picky Mix, this person wanted to return it, yet it stated the one that they were complaining about was for free and was sent with the item, and that didn't bother me. But the one that wasn't complaining about, there was nothing wrong with it, it was perfectly fine, so I fighted against with it. They refunded them at first, but then I appealed against it and I won my money back as well. So they give both sides back the money back. So I don't know how that works, how they actually keep their money if they do shit like that. So yeah, but that's all we got time for. So I'll show you what I got in the post so far today. I don't think I actually have anything else coming in the post for a while other than my housing, of where I am on the housing. I'm going to try logging on again, see if I can get on. We could actually do that right now on my laptop actually. Devon home choice. So I'm going to see if I can actually log on here. Let's see. As you can see, I'm starting to get tired, so we'll probably take a nap soon. I press out to see. No, I still can't log on, so still in the process of looking at everything I've put on there new. So, I'm just in the process of putting these few items on for sale at the moment. Obviously watching this in the background. The plants that are behind there are not due to be collected tomorrow. I got advertised the rest of my plants on Facebook. I need some more cups to put some more in. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now, guys. Peace out. I'll speak to you in a bit.